we missed your commentary on Miles Crawley. I'm just going to read to you his stats, and then you tell me what you think about Miles Crawley. Miles Crawley threw for 2,312 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. His completion percentage for the year was, I want to say, 60%. Let me see. It was like 60% for his completion rate for the year. We're ranking based off of how well they are with their completion, their touchdown to interception ratio, and we'll take into account some of the things that are happening. So, for instance, whether or not the coach was utilizing them correctly. So what do you think about Miles Crawley, Mr. Ford?
Okay, now the word I'm getting is that there's going to be a quarterback battle. He has not won the job. I had a chance to see films on the young man from Ole Miss. He can play. All right, I haven't been able to come up with the video on the kid from Jacksonville State yet. But in the past, I've liked some things about Crawley. Now, let me just tell you this about quarterbacks, and these are some unknown things about quarterback. Number one, your offensive line has to be pretty good at pass blocking, but the essential part of that offensive line is that you have to have 2 really good pass blocking tackles. Most people don't think about tackles when they think about the air game and quarterback production. But if you don't have 2 good tackles, you're not going to do very well, because them defensive ends are going to eat your behind up. The other thing that very few people take in consideration is who is the quarterback coach / offensive coordinator. That's the first thing I look at. And that's why I'm saying this year, I think it's going to be the year of newcomers, people that don't even have SWAC stats. I think it's going to be some people that's going to come at that quarterback position in the SWAC, and they're going to shock the world. Now, as far as Miles Crawley, he's a veteran. I think that he can lead Grambling, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's in for a fight. He's in for a fight, because the word is they have not given him that position. And like I said, now I don't know about the kid from Jacksonville. I saw the kid from Biloxi that was at Ole Miss. That kid can play. So
Mr. Ford, do you think that Dooley's style of play when we look at quarterbacks and what type of quarterback that he looks for, do you think that Miles Crawley fits that? And if he doesn't fit that and he still wins the quarterback battle, do you think that Dooley will build his offense surrounding Miles Crawley instead of trying to make him something that he's not?
Well, you kind of answered it earlier when you said we as Negroes, coloreds, or whatever you want to call us this week, we like
Negroes or coloreds.
Whatever we love dual threat quarterbacks, and you are absolutely correct, because we do. I love them myself. You know, I was the biggest Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson. Them my boys. Now I love dual threat. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, he's going to thrive under Dooley's. Dooley's system is very quarterback friendly. You can be just a drop back passer. You can be dual threat. Most quarterbacks are going to like Dooley, because Dooley allows you to improvise. And what I mean by that, when the play breaks down, he lets you do your thing. Okay? And so I think he'll thrive under, I know that young man from Ole Miss is going to thrive under Dooley.
Well,
but I think that Crawley will too.
Crawley, when we're looking at his stats, he's -70 for rushing. So we were explaining that maybe he's not a dual threat quarterback, but they also—
No, I don't think he is either. I don't think he's dual threat. Yeah, he's a pocket passer.
They also highlighted the offensive line, not, him backing up out the pocket to throw.
Right.
And, losing yardage. But then, so for me, I have Miles Crawley, because we're on our rankings, we're only doing quarterbacks that we can see in the SWAC. I'm not giving any type of preseason nod to anyone who they haven't necessarily shown their face in the SWAC, even though they could have came from Alabama. So for me, I have Miles Crawley as my number one for the SWAC. Noah Bodden, Mr. Ford, real quick so that we can catch you up. Noah Bodden, he threw for 376 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. One of the things that Dooley did last year was he did kind of hone in on his quarterback, and he was making him, the face of that Southern offense. So Noah Bodden didn't necessarily get that many chances to show what he has. What do you think about Noah?
I think with the right coaching, he has Willie Totten on that staff. He has Fred McNair on that staff. 2 former SWAC quarterbacks. Willie Totten is all over the NCAA record book. I think the sky's the limit now. I've never been impressed with what's the offense. He came from Prairie View. What's his name? What's the offense coordinator's name? Doc at Southern now. Is it Mark Frederick?
I think so.
I've never been impressed with him. I always thought Mark was a good running back coach, good recruiting coordinator. Never had no respect for him as an offense coordinator. But on top of that, he has Willie Totten with him. He has Fred McNair with him. So if he'll listen to them, I think the sky's the limit for Noah Bodden. And by the way, how many years of eligibility does he have left?
And by the way,
he got 1 left because he came in during 21.
Okay.
So he came in during 21. And
do you believe that Totten is a good quarterback coach? That's a good question.
Oh yeah. And so is Fred. They were, yeah. Oh, you know them good quarterbacks that came through Alcorn under Fred? Oh yeah.
All right. So I had to go get me a glass of wine. Okay, Mr. Ford. Last but not least, and then you're going to be up to snuff. We got Jacobi and Morgan. Jacobi and Morgan had 847 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He played in 6 games. So what do you think about Jacobi and Morgan as far as being a front runner to the quarterback race?
He's Cam Newton 2.0.
Ooh!
That's what I think of Jacobi Morgan. First of all, he was trained, he went up to Syracuse. Dino Babers was the head coach. If Dino touches you, you know the quarterback position. So I expect him to have an outstanding year. I really do. Yeah.
Okay, Superman.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Superman. So what is some things that now that we have that feel, what are some things that he needs to be successful? Let's talk about that offensive line.
You mean for Jacobian?
Yeah, because
we just talked about it. Quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, solid offensive line. If he gets the right offensive coordination, right quarterback coach, solid offensive line, he throws for 3,000 to 3,500 yards this year, and probably runs for another 500 or more.
Okay, so now that you answered that question, Mr. Ford, how do you have Jackson State ranked 4th, and you over here giving out?
Well, and you know what? I was going to share this story with you this week, and you can actually pull it up. I don't know if you heard about this past weekend, last Saturday in Atlanta. The city of Atlanta had it was called the HBCU 5K run. It was down Peachtree or West Peachtree. I didn't go. A lot of my, associates and friends went. Of course, they called me and told me that the most dominant thing down there was everybody was talking HBCU football, especially about the SWAC, the MEAC. Now, the consensus from the people that was at that 5K run, and by the way, you can pull it up because it was broadcast. It was broadcast on Facebook Live. So all you got to do is put in 2024 5K HBCU 5K run in Atlanta. It should come up. But anyway, this is what my people told me. It was a consensus down there once again that whoever wins between Florida A&M and Jackson State will represent the SWAC in the Celebration Bowl. The other thing that was said was that Alabama State is overrated. And the thing that kind of got me was the MEAC people are saying that the team to beat in the MEAC is Morgan State. Now, I got a little issue with that. I love Morgan State, the way they play defense, but their offense, you know, I'm a person who believes in balance. I think you should be able to run it, but you should also be able to throw it. And I think it's hard on defense when you're balanced. And I watched Morgan State's offense last year. It's kind of like watching paint dry. Really, you know, a lack of an air game. They run the ball. Not outstanding quarterback play. But like I said, the word from the 5K run is that the MEAC people think that the team to beat in the MEAC is Morgan State.
I said it myself too.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Jay.
How's it going?
Welcome to the panel. Mr. Ford, you know, I love it when you just go ahead and give us, like they said in the chat, you give us the street committee report.
Oh, yeah.
ATL, you know, what the gossip is, you know, what the folks are saying, right? Because what that basically shows is that I didn't say it. Folks in the chat didn't say it. This is the talk around town, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you said that when it comes down to it, it's going to be Jackson State versus FAMU. I have reservations about that. It's interesting that you did say that Alabama State is overrated.
Yeah. Now, I don't believe that, but that was the word. I don't believe that.
A lot of folks. And so we're gonna go over but after you just dropped that tea, a couple of us had to go get a drink, some water, a glass of wine, a shot. You just cleared the room with that one.
Well, from what I was told from the people here in Atlanta, they are saying that Jackson State should be really, really good. I agree. I think that, but the expectations are sky high for Jackson State. From what I was told this weekend, from what the people were saying down there this weekend.